Hey guys, Will here, and as you can see behind me, it's currently Christmas time, so I thought I should do something about that. So I decided to make a Christmas tree ornament, but I wanted to make it a little bit special. So I decided to use the lights on the Christmas tree to make it light up, and I'm going to use nylon to do that, because nylon has some cool properties where it lets light shine through it. So I decided that I would make a snowman with the body obviously being made out of nylon because it's white. That's going to light up, and I have different materials and different colors for the rest of the body parts like the hat and arms and nose and everything else. So I'm going to make a couple quick measurements and then design it up in CAD, print it out, assemble it, and put it on the tree. So let's get started. I wanted the light bulb to fit into the snowman's head, so I needed to know where the bulb was on the light to make sure it would fit properly within the hat and within the head of the snowman. And then I needed to know the diameter of the light to know how wide that hole that the light will fit in should be. Designing the body of the snowman really wasn't that hard. It's basically just a bunch of circles on top of each other, just like a normal snowman. But I revolved around a center line, so I had to trim away all the excess. And then I had a nice flat base for a couple of reasons. One, that's sort of how it would sit on the ground. It would have a base like that. And another thing, it would make it a lot easier when printing it out. Now, the main thing that took time designing the body of the snowman was just making sure the circles were the right size and the right place relative to each other to make it look like a proper snowman. And then once I got that done and then a base for the hat to fit in, I just revolved it around a circle and there you go. Now I have the shape of a snowman. The next thing I did was make the hole for the light to fit through. And then after that, I shelled it, which basically makes it hollow and just basically gives it a shell of however thickness you set it to. I did 2 millimeters for this. And then it was time to bring the snowman to life. So to do that, I had to give him a face. So that's what I'll do now. So starting out with the circle in the middle to be his nose, then 2 eyes, and then I made 5 circles which would represent his mouth. Now there are a few different ways I could have done this, and if there's a more complicated shape, I probably would have just done one side and then mirrored the other. But for a simple shape like just a bunch of circles, it's just as easy just to do them all manually and create formulas for them so they'll equal each other side to side. After that, I made the buttons going down his body, and then I extrude cutted them out of the main body to basically just put a bunch of holes in the body. And now he's starting to look a bit more like a real snowman. But he still needs some arms, so I'm going to create another sketch and put a circle there and just extrude cut it both ways and just make the holes for his arms. I decided his body wasn't quite right, so I did a quick modification to it. And I think it looks better. But then I needed to make the parts that will actually fit into the holes I just made on his face and the rest of his body. So that's what I'm going to do right now by basically just changing how the extrusion worked and selecting each part individually. And then just giving them a flat plane to print on later on just to make it easier. And so that's what I'm basically just doing now, just filling in the back. And then I had to make the nose for it as well. So I did the same thing I did with the buttons and with the eyes and mouth, but then I had to add a cone shape to the front of it. And so basically I just extruded the cylinder further out and then gave it a nice draft angle which would bring it into a point. And then I had to do the arms, and to do this I basically just tried to make it look like a stick that you would find on the ground. And so that's what that basic shape is. And then I just made the circle on the end of it, which would basically make the actual stick itself. And to make each individual branch, I basically just copied the sketch over and over again and then just lofted different parts of it. There might be a better way to do this, but this seemed to work out just fine. And then I did a second design for the other arm in the same basic manner. And now it's time to print all the parts up and put them all together. I had to do a fair amount of cleanup on the body of the snowman, as well as the smaller parts like the eyes and the buttons. And putting them on was sometimes a little bit difficult because the body would flex with it. Getting the mouthpieces in were almost impossible because they were so small, and printing that small, it's not very accurate. So I kind of gave up, but I realized that they were almost the same size as the filament, which I could just easily push through the holes on the snowman and then just trim it off. So that's what I ended up doing, and it worked out really well actually. And the rest of the pieces went on really easily. Alright, so now it's all put together. I think it looks pretty good. Now I just need to find a place to put it on the tree. Well, it came out pretty well, as you can see. I just wish the whole thing was lit up instead of just the head. So I have an idea for that. What I need to do is get another light in there to help illuminate the whole body. So I'm going to take a soldering iron and melt a hole through the back of it, big enough for another light to fit through. Well, I think it came out a lot better now. That's pretty much what I was hoping for. The whole body is lit up. I hope you think it's a pretty cool design. Hope you like it. Hope you liked watching this video. If you did, hit that like button, leave a comment below, and make sure to subscribe so you know when more videos come out. Anyways, thanks for watching. I will see you next time.